Hey guys, welcome to Brutes and Magoots, where today we are going to be taking a look at my newest guitar acquisition, and that is this ESP LTD SD-2 Sammy Duet signature model. I just picked this up, and I've been looking at this guitar for a while. I missed out on the run of 30 of the SD-1s. And I was kind of bummed out about that. And then I had been really trying to justify getting the ESP Custom Shop version. But man, it like 5 or 6 times the price of this one. I just can't justify it. I mean, when those things are going for $9,000, and I think like the new one, like the 2025 one that has like the harder cut bevels on there, is like listed for like $12,000. There's just no justification for that for me. Anyway, it may be for some people, not for me. It is literally made of the same woods and stuff like that, basically the same components. The custom shop model does have the Lucifer sigil at the 12th fret. It has a single coil slant neck pickup, and there's not a whole lot of other. It has an OG Floyd on there, of course, and stuff like that, but there's not really like a whole lot of differences. Again, same wood and stuff, 3-piece mahogany neck, and you have ebony fingerboard and mahogany body. You know, obviously it has locking tuners and stuff like that, but I mean, I could spend $2,000 in upgrades on this one and not even be close to the custom shop one, which is exactly what I plan on doing, is just upgrading this. Now I won't obviously have the second pickup, but I'm okay with just having a lean, mean one pickup machine. But anyway, what I think we're going to do is we're going to jam on this one for a minute or two, and then we're going to go into the studio and take a closer look and look at the specs. Alright guys, so that jam was from the future. I am back from the future. I just want to show you guys that a 24 3/4 scale length guitar can do lower tuning, so I went ahead and jammed some Cannibal, and they tuned to A sharp standard. Now let's go ahead and look at this in stock form. The case is a badass case. Now again, this is a pricey guitar. I mean, we're talking, I think, about $1,700 or so. But we do get a very, very nice case. The difference between the SD-1 and the SD-2s is the SD-1 had this awesome coffin graphic on here. We do not get this with the SD-2s. Let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at her. And the case is just a really nice case, honestly. Really pleased with that. So many companies cheap out on the cases, but this is a nice hard case for this thing, and it fits nice and tight and secure in here. I wanted to mention another difference between, or a couple other differences between the SD-1 and the SD-2s, because you guys may be wondering. Mainly is that they added this little upper fret access right here, this little bevel cut. And then I think the SD-1s had strap lock buttons on there, and these are standard strap buttons. And then they had the LTD in like the other graphic where it's kind of like cursive-ish. I'm making up words here now, and you know, the other style of writing. So this is a larger LTD logo. Other than that, it's basically the same exact guitar. One thing I wanted to mention is that they have the neck radius listed wrong on the ESP site. If you look at the custom shop one, it's listed correctly at 305 millimeter, which is 12-inch radius. They have this one as a typo at 350, which would be like just under a 14-inch radius. But I have measured this out, and it is definitely a 12-inch radius. So speaking to that, one thing that I hate is that, you know, they put these R2 nuts on here that are a 10-inch radius, and so on so many guitars, your nut is actually an incorrect radius to the fretboard. It's minor, and you really won't notice it so much, but I'm super anal, and that bothers the piss out of me. That's why I do like the Lockmeister trim system, where you can order the correct nut and bridge radius. Overall, it comes with pretty good stuff. So we have, this is the upgraded 1000 series, so you do have the stainless screws here. These are not titanium screws, they're stainless, so it's a minor upgrade. We don't know what quality of stainless these are. There's different qualities, but these are stainless. Again, the frets are stainless, which is a nice upgrade. Every guitar should come with stainless frets, in my opinion. Now, these are not Jescar, like on the custom shop. So they're probably a lower grade stainless, but is still a nice thing to see. We have the Seymour Duncan Blackout metal. Now this is the AHB-2 version of this guy, and it has a little shunt in there that comes already pre-installed on the back of this thing, where it's a higher output. And for me, I tried it out compared to my other guitars, and I don't like it. There's like a really harsh bump in the mids. It has a already nice cut on the highs, which I like because I like a warmer tone. I don't like the buzzsaw, you know, metal zone tone or whatever. This has a nice high end to it, but the mids are bumped really hard and hot, to me anyway. So you can remove that shunt, and it kind of puts it down into a more moderate mode, and it also kind of pulls back those mids a little bit. So I would recommend doing that if that's something, you know, that you prefer as far as sound. Overall, build quality, it is really nice. There is not really any kind of finish issues here. We come down here through the neck. One thing to always look out for is, and again, I'm super anal, is that the fretboard is centered. You know, a lot of times you'll see these, you know, the center inlays that are off center on the fretboard. And I've seen this on this guitar every now and then, but these are pretty well dead center. If they look off, it's just the camera angle I'm holding on there, but they're in good shape. So that's nice. The inlay on here man, I mean, it looks like mother of pearl. It's not like really picking up on here, but on camera, but it has like a mother of pearl look to it. So I'm not sure if it is or not, but still nice. This, I never understand why. I haven't touched this, and they cranked it the fuck down on this thing. Why there is a string retainer on a neck, slant neck, I have no idea. It already has the break angle needed coming off the nut. There is no need for this on here. So I'll be taking that off. Let's go ahead and flip it around. So I'm gonna pause. All right, so looking at the back, I have no finish issues here as far as the paint is concerned. This is a little bit loose, which I can't really get to make the noise now, obviously on camera, because why would it? But you know, those guys need to be tightened down just a hair. I went ahead and took off all the cavity covers for you so you could see how everything is. The milling down here in the wood is you can see kind of how rough it is, but at least it is painted all in there. And this guy's a little bit crooked. Looks like they tried to, I'm not sure what they had going on here, but that's the claw's a little bit crooked. I'm going to remove that anyway and put a tremolo on there because I can't handle a Floyd guitar any other way. Once I went to the tremolo, like I will never go back. Here's the cavity for this. The difference between this and the custom shop version is that the custom shop version has a metal cover here where you have just a little push access which rolls out the battery, which makes it easier to swap out, which I like. But again, that's a minor difference. And here in the control cavity, we don't have a whole lot going on because there's just a volume pot, and then obviously your output for the plug, but it is nice and routed, and we have it's bundled up good too, so that's all nice. Again, the neck is finished nicely. Now I hate a gloss neck. Some people like it. I hate it, so I will be doing a satin finish on here, which I just use Scotch-Brite. I just mask it off and use Scotch-Brite and put like a little satin finish on there to make it just a little bit smoother. It does gum up for me, and for some people, they just love it. I don't. We'll come back over here to the back of the headstock. Here is something interesting and kind of what you want to look for. So this is made in Korea, and the W here indicates the World Musical Instruments Factory, and that's what you want to see. That's the best factory, in my opinion, as far as foreign-made guitars. The Korean World Music is probably top-notch. They shift in manufacturing for the LTDs to Indonesia and now China, and I'm sure that they're coming up in quality, but as far as I'm concerned, the Korean World Music is the best that you can get as far as in this price range. These are standard LTD tuners. Nothing great to see here. The custom shop one has Schaller auto cut locking tuners, which is nice. But again, that's something that you can upgrade to. Now I do have a finish issue right here where the black paint had come off, or something happened to it right there. It's got the gloss coat on over top of it, but it looks like before they got a chance to clear coat it, the black had rubbed off. Not a huge thing because it's on the underside of the guitar. I don't see that, so that's not really a huge issue to me, but just something I wanted to note. Look at the nut. That is all nice and clean and sharp. Really, it's just a really well done guitar. They have coatings on the cavity covers to help with electronic interference. Let's go ahead and flip this dude back around if I can. Anything else? We have stainless screws up here, which I like, and I like the overall color combo of things. Like I like the black with the stainless. It looks sharp and clean. I will probably be going to an active pickup, a passive pickup on here, because that's typically what I run, and I just hate keeping up with batteries and stuff. I just can't. I want to leave a guitar plugged in and not have to worry about unplugging it all the time. So I'm probably going to swap that out. But I mean, it is still like a good pickup, and it is the pickup, the same bridge pickup that comes in the Custom Shop. One other thing to note is that this volume pot right here is mounted kind of high, so you can see a bit too much gap between it and the body, but you can just adjust that down. Minor nitpick stuff. And then one last nitpick is over here. You can kind of see they kind of got a little bit wonky with the masking, but do it again, like this is just really nitpicking at this point. It is a badass guitar, and it's pretty awesome. Now these guitars are inspected in the US, so they say, but I don't know like how thorough of a process they do. I checked the intonation on this guy, and everything is flat by 5 to 10 cents on some strings. But whatever, I'm going to go ahead and do that anyway. I actually run, because I do a bunch of different covers and things like that, I'll run from anywhere from standard to like A tuning. And I don't set the intonation for every single change. So what I actually do is I just set it up for like C tuning, which I think is what Goatwhore uses. But I set it up for C, and then that way I'm kind of in the middle. If I run like a higher tuning like E, or if I run a lower tuning like A sharp or something like that, the C kind of puts me in the middle, and I'm not too far off scent wise on the tuning. But just to note that this guy from the factory came off. Every single one of them was flat as far as intonation. All right, guys, so that's hopefully a thorough enough review and comparison between the three different types, the SD-1, the SD-2, and then the Custom Shop. One thing I forgot to mention is that this calls out that it has the glow-in-the-dark side inlays, which it does, but in the Custom Shop it calls out the lumen lay. So I have a feeling that these are probably like a cheaper, maybe not as good glow-in-the-dark side marker, but that's just a guess. Again, otherwise, like the quality and stuff is there. Now we can argue price points all day long, but I'm not happy with guitars coming from Korea or Indonesia or whatever that are $1,700. It's a lot to me, but that's today's market. That's just what we're going to have to accept if we want to buy a guitar nowadays. And it is what it is. But to justify this guitar at $9,000 with minimal, again, we're talking about like adding like the mother of pearl Lucifer sigil on the 12th fret, and the neck single coil slant pickup, minor hardware changes as far as going from the 1000 Floyd to like OG locking tuners and stuff. Dude, otherwise it's basically the same guitar, same woods and stuff like that. Now you're going to have a nicer attention to detail on build quality, but you can upgrade this guitar and have it as badass, if not better, than the Custom Shop for a third of the price when you're said and done. One thing I did want to mention too, and I know I keep on adding stuff, is that I do like this addition, this revision that they did from the SD-1s, but it's not deep enough for me. My fingers don't really come over here so much, but they do want to come in here. So I wish that that was kicked back like another ½ inch. Would be nice, because I still feel like my pinky and stuff is jamming up against here, and would like just a little bit more back on there, but that's nitpick stuff. Otherwise, again, you're getting a badass guitar, and I just plan on using this as an upgrade to get to the level of the Custom Shop, because I really wanted it. But it's just, there's just no justification for it. Plus, like, I'm going to play this guitar. If I got a Custom Shop, like, I'm not going to want to play it, just because, like, we all know pointing guitars and how easy it is for paint chips to happen on the corners and stuff like that. I already accepted that that's going to happen. So I can upgrade this thing to the specs that I want, with probably even better things than the Custom Shop, because I think the Custom Shop still gives you like a 10-inch radius nut and whatnot, but you do get like the Jescar stainless steel frets instead of generic stainless steel frets. I mean, there's little differences here and there, but again, nothing that I can't do on my own, so I will use this as a jumping off point. But if you guys just want to get this guitar and jam on it, it is a badass bitch, and I do highly recommend it. It is worth the price to me. I love Sammy's work in Goatwhore and Acid Bath, and to get, you know, a guitar, like get his signature model means a lot to me, just because I've been a fan of his for so long. He's such a good dude. He's such a nice dude. He's super responsive online, and you know, that's what you want, you know, from somebody like that, in my opinion. You know, Gary Holt is the same way. You know, I like that these people are responsive and they're just good dudes, because that means a lot. But anyway, again, and I keep on repeating myself, I'm sorry if this video is going long, but you know, again, this comes with the shunt installed. I recommend pulling off the shunt if you want to kind of drop those mids and like just the overall harshness of the pickup, because it's still high gain. It just becomes a little bit more moderate, and it kind of drops those mids and lower mids enough to be tolerable for me. But anyway, that's really about it. That's all there is to cover. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.